What's happening, YouTube? Blackgate coming at you from Flagstaff. It's like September 16th, I think, today. And some of you might know, based on my post on Instagram, that I put Sasha up for sale. And I kind of want to explain why. The thing is, I'm not ready to get out of riding. I never have been. I never will be ready to get out of riding. I think I'm just looking for something a little bit different now. I've had Sasha for 2 years now. It's almost 2.5 years, and I think I just want to try something a little bit different. The problem right now is that with winter coming pretty soon, with as cold as it's been getting at night here in Flagstaff, my riding days are pretty short for the rest of this year. I think I'm probably going to have maybe till the end of September before it starts snowing. It'll probably start snowing in October this time. So what that means is Sasha's going to get boarded up and left at my parents' house if I don't sell her. And I don't know, I think it's just time for me to try something else. I love this bike. I've always loved this bike. It's never given me issues. I think I just want to try something different, you know? If I had enough money, I would get another bike and keep this one long term. But speaking of other bikes, I'm actually selling the Vulcan as well. I know, big shock, right? I only had it for about 3 months. I really wanted to work on that project, and I still do. I don't want to get rid of it, but at the same time, I really need the money. And I'm just not going to have money to sink into it over the next few months, probably until I'm out of college, which won't be for a while. I won't be graduating this year. It'll be next year. So I think it's just time I get rid of the Vulcan and get rid of this bike. Try something a little bit different. Now, I could use the money that I sell for the Vulcan to get another bike as well. So I might sell this bike and use the extra money I make to buy something different. I just wanted to, for one, I want something a little bit newer. I want something with fuel injection because this bike does not perform as it should up here. Not to say that it doesn't perform at all. It performs great anyway. This bike is still faster than almost any vehicle in this town, but it's, I mean, the speed limit's only 40, so you're not going to go very fast anyway. But the carburetors, I just wish I could get rid of them. I want to move to something fuel injected if I can. I'm going to try to. But for now, I think it's just time to put Sasha up for sale, to try something a little bit different. I'll have a little bit of money at the end of this or at the end of the winter season, working during the holiday. So I'm going to try to find another job as well that makes a little bit more money. I can't afford a bike payment, so I won't be buying a new bike. It'll be a used bike still. But even then, I see some relatively new bikes go for pretty cheap. So I'm not really too concerned. I think the biggest thing is I'm feeling really I guess the word would be panicked. I don't know, I don't like when people ask me about the bike, if I want to sell it, my first thing is say, no, it's not for sale. But I think it's just the emotional attachment I have to this bike. I've put a lot of time and sweat into this bike, and like I said, never anything mechanical wise. The bike has never given me issues, but you know, I've made it look like I want to make it, and I've done a lot of work to wrap the bike, do the done most of my own oil changes when I can, and new tires. And it's not, I don't know, it's hard to explain. You love the bike so much, but you want to try something else as well. Bikes are my life. They always have been. And I don't really want to get rid of the bike, but at the same time, I really want to try something new. And I know for a fact right now, with as little money as I make, that won't happen anytime soon if I don't sell a bike. If I just try to hold on to it, I'm never going to make any money. And the thing is, I'm not in this to try to be in for a profit. I just want to have a different bike, you know. Some people buy and flip bikes so often, they always have something different. And for me, that's not really the case. I just want to try something a little bit different. I'm still not sure what I'm going to do about the bikes. I know for a fact the Vulcan needs to go just because I just don't have the time or the money to work on it. much as I really, really want a cruiser to go with my sport bike. But it just depends. I mean, if it sits up on Craigslist and I just keep hitting renew and no one ever offers to pay for it, then I'll take it down to Mike's Bikes over here at over in Flagstaff off the 66 and just say, put it together and I'll pay it when you finish. So I guess it's just a matter of figuring out if anyone wants to buy a Project Vulcan or not. If you guys want it, let me know and I'll hook you up with it. But yeah, I just want to try something different. It's hard to describe why, I guess. I mean, I'm one of those guys that'll really ride anything on the road. Two wheels, I'll want to ride it at least once. Now, I may not actually buy everything, but I sure as heck give every kind of bike a try. I like, you know, a few years ago, I'd never admitted that I like to ride cruisers, but after I test rode a few of them, I had a blast. And I'd totally do it. I totally own one. It wouldn't be my main one, but I'd totally give it a try. So, I don't know. The question is, what kind of bike do I want to get next? That's a big thing. I don't know what I want to get next, to be honest. I don't know what I would get next. I guess it all depends on what's out there, because if I found a good enough deal before winter was up down in Phoenix, I'd probably come get one. Drive down to Phoenix and leave it at my parents' house and come pick it up in the spring. But it kind of just depends on what I have money for and when I have the money for it, I guess. There's always good deals on Craigslist. You got to keep looking. I passed this bike over three times actually. But none of the other bikes I wanted showed up or couldn't get the deal for them. I ended up settling. Well, I didn't settle. I ended up taking this bike, and this bike was a total gem. This bike has always been good to me. And that's why I guess I'm so hesitant, even though I want to sell it, I'm so hesitant on just saying, yeah, come pick it up, or yeah, I want to sell it, you know. It's like, is the bike still for sale? Every time someone texts me that, I'm still half tempted to say no, the bike's not for sale, or the bike's already sold, and blah, blah, blah. I don't know, I'm just, like I said, I think I felt panicked because the thought of selling this bike just scared me, but at the same time, I want to sell it, but I don't want to sell it. It's kind of hard. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I'm still on the fence. I guess I'll keep thinking about it for now and just wait and see what offers, if or when they come in. I almost traded it for a truck actually last week or earlier this week, but the truck didn't have a heater in it, and for someone who's from Arizona, the thought that I would turn down an uptrade for a vehicle without a heater just sounds preposterous. But in Flagstaff, I'm gonna need it. It gets very cold up here. Now, an air conditioning unit I can do without. My truck hasn't had AC in probably over 1.5 to 2 years now. It's just had multiple problems that were supposed to have gotten fixed and never did because the shop didn't do their job. But yeah, I turned down the offer for the truck. So I'll just wait for the right deal, I guess, and see what happens. I don't know. I think maybe the reason I thought about selling this even after just wrapping it a few months ago, is like the project's kind of done, you know? I've done everything I wanted to do to this bike, and so now what else is there to do? I know some people would be like, oh no, that's the point, you gotta ride it with how it's set up for you. And to a point I agree with that. In fact, I agree with it a lot, but at the same time, I'm not a guy who likes things staying the same a lot. I guess I hate change, but I like making the changes myself. I don't know, I'm kind of rambling now, but I don't know. I'll see what happens. Even if I do sell this bike and I sell the cruiser, I'll still have Katie, my KTM, to make videos on in the springtime when the snow melts. Either way, when wintertime comes, I'm not going to have time, or I'm not going to be able to make videos very much because of the cold weather. So it's not like, even if I had the street bike still, it's not like I'd be able to make videos and record, because there's still going to be snow on the ground anyway. So, I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think. Hate me. I know most of you guys would hate me but you know, you'd never sell your bike. Well, yeah, I know. I don't know. Just want something different, you know?